Hi freshmen, my name is Mrs. Nance and I'm your English teacher this year. I wanted to make a video and introduce myself to you without my mask on before we get started next week and give you a quick overview of what our course kind of looks like to get started here in the school year, and then a little quick assignment for you to introduce yourself to me and possibly other classmates. So a little bit about me. I am in my 11th year here at Eagle Crest, and I've always taught freshmen, I think, except for 1 year. So just really familiar with your group, and I love teaching freshmen. I'm actually recording not from our classroom, a different classroom, but you'll see our classroom is super friendly. It's got a lot of stuff on the walls, unlike this white wall behind me, and I'll make sure you know where things go and where to turn things in, and we'll get that going on Monday as well. So when you go to Schoology, you'll see your courses lined up, and the one for us is the one with the flying books. So you'll go ahead and click that one for me this week. And I don't have much in here yet because I'm going to organize my class by weeks. And so that, for those of you who have to stay home and be remote, you'll know exactly what to do. Instead of organizing it by unit like I've done in the past, I'll do it by week. So we're in our first week here. And here's what I'd like you to do as a quick kind of get to know you. First of all, the syllabus and some course policies and rules are all right here on this one. I'll hand it out in person next week. This week when I see you in person. I'm really getting used to the schedule, and we're all going to be learning it together. So bear with me with that kind of stuff. But if you want to peek at it ahead of time, or your parents do, go ahead and click this link, and it'll take you to the syllabus with all my policies and rules, etc. on there. Okay, so you have a choice to introduce yourself to me. You can do a Google form. You can fill this out. So you'll just click on this and make sure you click this arrow to get out of Schoology if it prompts you to. Sometimes it'll just pull it up right here. So I'm just asking you a couple of basic things about yourself, what your name is, what middle school you're coming from, and just some fun things about your favorite things in the world, like your favorite social media platform, and if you could eat any food for the rest of your life, what would it be? And then we get to some of the more serious ones, and I'm just super interested in, like, other than kind of the stuff we have to do for English, what are some other topics that you would want to talk about in English this year? And it can be any of these, all of these, or another one that is also important to you. What kind of reader are you? What kind of writer are you? And then another fun one, who's your role model, etc. Okay, so go ahead and fill that out. Now you can do this one and you can do the other option, or you can do the other option. So you only have to do one of these. Okay, so that was the Google form where you can just introduce yourself on paper. But what I think would be more fun, and so I can see you without your mask on, is to introduce yourself making a video on your phone. Okay, so what you would do for this one is click out. You'll have to use the arrow here to click out. And this takes you to a website called Flipgrid. Maybe you've used it before in 8th grade. And so you just would click record a response after you log in. Okay, there's a code for you and everything. It takes you right to this page. So you just click record a response. Now, if you do it on your phone, your camera's right there and you can just submit it and it's great. Otherwise, you can do it on a computer as long as it has a camera and a microphone so we can hear you. And basically on this one, I'm asking you very similar questions. What's your name? What school are you coming from? What's something new for you in your life this summer? What food would you eat for the rest of your life? Don't feel like you have to answer all of these questions. Just pick a few, or you can just introduce yourself, whatever that means to you. Okay, so all of the instructions are right here. And then we'll have kind of a folder in Flipgrid of your introduction videos. So if I were going to introduce myself, a little bit about me, I'll go back to my full screen now. So my name is Sarah Nance, that's my full name, and I obviously don't have a school I'm coming from. I told you that I've been at Eagle Crest for a long time. I'm married to another teacher who works at Cherry Creek High School, and he's a social studies teacher, and we have 2 little babies. We have Jane, who is 2.5, and I also have a son, Sam, or Sammy, and he is 8 months old. So I have 2 littles. I'm from here. I went to Arapahoe High School, and then I was a volleyball player at Colorado Mesa a long time ago, about 10 years ago. And then I came back home where my family lives because I wanted to be close to my family. And I actually started, I obviously started my teaching career here, but I coached volleyball here for a long time. My favorite social media platform is probably Facebook, only because Facebook started right when I was in college. That was like the social media to do during the time, and probably another favorite of mine is Instagram. I don't have a Twitter. I don't have Snapchat. I don't know anything about TikTok. It's probably because as a mom, I have quite a bit going on at home. My favorite activities to do outside of school would be to read, because that's what English teachers do. I don't get a lot of time to read because of all of my children, but when I can, I like to. And I also really love to go running. That was a huge pastime of mine for a long time. And again, I only can when I can bring a stroller with me now. I played volleyball, like I said, so I've always been really into that when it works out. As far as in addition to what we have to talk about this year, read this year, some topics that I'm really interested in right now are obviously the political climate, and being that this is an election year, I think it's important that we talk about some of the things. I think it's really important that we talk about race in our classroom, and that we get uncomfortable sometimes, and that we kind of come to consensus, or we can agree to disagree and do that in a really healthy way. And I have some opportunities to do that. So that's something that I want to talk about with you, and I would love to respect your desire to do that too. Looking at the list, I think that's good. Who do you care about in your life? Obviously, I care about my family. I'm also really close with my mom, who watches my kids a lot. And then I have a identical twin sister named Abby, and we are very, very close. And our kids are close in age too, so that has been fun. Okay, so that is my example, and it's super long, and yours does not have to be that long. So don't feel like you have to answer every question, but you can if you want. All right, so just to recap, in our first week folder on Schoology, I would like you to check out the syllabus if you want. It's just there. I'll have it for you in hard copy in person. And then one of these, you can either introduce yourself on the Google form, or you can make a Flipgrid of yourself, a little video, so I can see your face without having a mask on, and meet you that way. And you can also see some videos from your classmates as well. You could also do both if you have a lot of time and you want to do both, because they are just a little bit different. Feel free to do both as well. Okay? All right, we will get started with some skills, and we'll go over policies and all that fun stuff when I see you either tomorrow on your first day at school, or later in the week for your first day of school. Have a great week. I'm excited to meet you, and I'm excited for this school year.